Okay, so we want to build a rig that's capable of doing everything that this rig does. So the way that it works is the certain aspects of the movement of this rig is locked. Okay, so we can't, for example, this one is automatically set. Well, actually, this one has very few limitations. Let's look at the blink shapes. So they only move up and down. They don't move sideways. Okay, so only the Y is exposed. You can go a step further, and I think on some of these, the Y is exposed, but then also the bones actually have constraints on them, right? So you add a bone constraint, you can say limit location, and then because the Y one is the only one that's not locked here, the Y one is limited to a maximum of that height. So what this face shape is doing, it's actually linking two shapes that are on here. So those shapes are all linked to, that's part of the tutorial that I posted on Classroom, was how to set up drivers, and a little bit more in depth. I'm going to do some as an example. But just in the first place, what these are basically are just bones. So if you go into edit mode, you'll see that they're nothing more than just strategically placed bones. But they have limitations set up on them. And to do this will probably take you a little while. So what I recommend is that we rip this guy's face off and then we use it, okay, for our own purposes. So we basically want all of these bones that you see over here. That's the Facerig. So you open the CG Cookie Flex rig, just check that it's working and that it's actually been generated. Then you grab the face and you press Control Alt P, and that separates the bones. So that'll make a separate rig. It'll break this CG Cookie Flex rig, most likely, right? But what we do get is this. So we get all these bones, they're already set up and they look kind of cool, and we can use them for our own for our own characters. Okay, so what you can do then is press Control C, copy it, and paste it in your own scene. You might find that some of it, some of the widgets and things might come with, but you can pretty much then delete anything that's not that rig. So just to show you, so copy, well, this one's pasted. So I guess I can paste it again. It would probably just make a mess of the scene. Okay, so then it pastes pretty much everything, including that rig, including the widgets that was made from. I think the widgets are, geez, I don't even know where they're hidden. Oh, they are actually just switched off. So that's what happens when you just paste it in there. But then the one rig, you don't need it all. I think that's my original rig. That's the face rig, and then that's that was the other rig, the other part of the rig. Okay, I don't know what that is. It's a widget of sorts, and I guess there's plenty of other widgets here as well. The widgets are just shapes that are made to give a sort of a look to the rig, and try and make it as sort of obvious what those controllers do, right? So I actually like that widget for my eye target, because I have this guy over here, and say edit. So that I actually want to use the eye target bone for it. So what I can do is I can go to that bone. I think I need to be in pose mode, though. Let me just check. Pose mode. Custom shape. And then I can click that little thing and pick the custom shape. Widget eye target. Okay, so widget eye target is at a different angle, which is not ideal. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate that. See if this works. Rotate that by 90. Oh, I think minus, what's it, 90 degrees? And apply rotation. Okay, now it disappeared. Let's see what I actually did. My bone is missing in action. Fantastic. Okay, so I lost the bone. In fact, the widget also disappeared. I don't know what I did. I think these widgets are a little bit dodgy since they were copied from the other. So I don't know what, because I've tried to apply them before and then they also just disappear. And I think it's better just to make new widgets instead of pasting those in. But that's how you make custom shapes. So for example, if I just wanted to make a widget over here, you can make them out of curves as long as you convert them to meshes. So I'm going to go ahead and let's say do a cone, and then just get my rig up here again. So I'm going to actually tell it to use the custom shape of this cone instead. And I think the drawing of the cone, let me just try this. No, that doesn't actually change it. Okay, so one more time, just a better shape. Cone, let's just do like 3 for a look at controller. And once you've applied the transforms, or okay, so that's my look at. Then I can go and delete this actually because it just keeps it. And you can scale that to like 0.5, and then you have something that resembles a look at controller. Okay, so that's how you customize the bones, and that's why this little thing that we pasted in here, this little rig, it's very useful. So what I did was to align this rig with my character. Now that we've pasted it, there you go. I just had a look at where my jawbone was. Right, so now it's not in there anymore, but sort of just try and align this to my jawbone, because I actually do have that other rig in here already. Okay, so in edit mode, once you've, obviously you can't move the bones. Thank you. you need to move the bones in edit mode. So you can scale them and then move them into place. And I think that is just the head bone, and that's the actual jaw bone. So I tried to align the jawbone sort of with my jawbone, and then you can kind of see that those are the lip bones and those are supposed to be on the side of the mouth. So you can scale it and move it until you find that it's sort of in the right place. And you can also take individual bones. You don't have to take them all at once because you're in edit mode. You can go and move them into place. Okay? And then if you go into object mode again, you can see whether that face rig is in the right place or not. Cool. So this basically just sets up controllers for us that look really nice and that do the job. Then we have to decide on which one of these controllers, or what happens when I rotate this controller. What shapes are we actually driving with it? And how does it work? Okay. So to do that, I'm going to quickly do a capture of that. Okay. Okay, so then we're going to have a look at this and see where we can assign the face shapes. So I'll do that. I'm going to stop the recording for a while and then come back after the drawing's done, or the notes are made on this. Just quickly, what the point of this is that what we also get along with this, this face rig is we actually get the entire pose library along with it. Okay, so it comes with the library of characters, which we don't really care for, but it also comes with the library of phonemes. So the face shapes are supposed to be kind of in there already, and you can tell them to apply to this rig. And what makes that really powerful is that you get something that that's called Papagayo, which is lip sync. It's sort of more a lip sync testing environment where you can analyze the audio, type in the words that you wanted to say, and then test it. So I did a little test on this. Downloaded this software. It's free, and then you import the WAV file. Now, excuse me, this is from a song, music video that we're busy doing. So, and it's Afrikaans. So this is actually really funny because you can't. It doesn't really understand the phonetics of Afrikaans. So you have to write some other weird stuff there. I don't know how to magnify that. But yeah, it says actually like you would write Leicester. Like instead of Leicester, it would be L-A-Y-S-T-R. So you have to sort of break it down phonetically, and this is also using very specific library of sound. So once you've typed it out, it'll make this little yellow thing on the top. But okay, I'm going to show you more of this later on and how it works exactly when we do the lip sync thing. So this is just a preview, and then you can sort of pick different mouth shapes over here as a preview, and you just see whether it's working or not. I prefer the Preston Blair one, and then yeah, you just play, and then if you have audio, okay, so it's trying to stream the audio over the okay, try that again.
Away massacre. All the men from South Africa. Luister naar die liedje van Jack de Priester. Met Dr. Victor. Kom ons boven hier in Moor. Come
So it
now.
gives you something that's quite crude. It obviously doesn't blend into each other. It just tries to identify it. And then what you do is you export this into a DAT file, which kind of looks like that. It gives you the key pose, and next to the key pose, the shape that it's using. So this is basically all that lip sync. That then gets imported into Blender using an add-on, and then all your key poses will be plotted out for you that you can obviously then go and tweak as well. But that's sort of the starting process, and it's not a very common one. I mean, usually we just lip sync from scratch, but it does give you sort of a nice foundation to work from. So there's a lot of benefits from stealing this Facerig, basically. We just now need to hook up our own shapes to it and drive that. Okay.